So I go to a Quilty Club every 2 weeks, and it's 4 hours on Friday. There are about 1 or 2 dozen of us, quilters, crafters, stitchers and knitters, and we have a lovely time sitting around doing our craft and having a good old gossip. Perfect afternoon, morning and afternoon actually. So I thought you'd like to see what I take. People have asked me what is in my travelling sewing kit. So this is my go-to box for all my bits and pieces. I use it in my home when I'm hand stitching in another room. I'll just pick up my box and I take it away with me. I'll go my camper van and my Quilty Club. So what I've got in here is, yes, bring it a bit closer so you can see. So I have, I've got some tiny little buttons here, very cute buttons, little hearts. I'll show you what I'm going to use those for later. Because a lot of my work, see if you can see it, yes, that's good. So a lot of my work is in hand stitching, is English paper piecing. So I need to have, I use very fine needles. So I have my needles in that compartment. Let's have a look. Okay, in here I've got my needles, and my favourite needles for English paper piecing are these Milliners John James's. Oops, fell on the floor. Here we go, here's another go. John James, that's back to front, upside down, but that's all right. I've got a few other different ones here, different bits and pieces. I've got little needle threaders, which I can't get out. I've got little needle threaders in here. But because these Milliners needles are so fine, I use this fantastic threader. You put the needle down there and you thread it, and then you go like that, and it's threaded most of the time. So these are quite nifty. They go, let's just do one, shall we? Shall we thread a needle? This was only supposed to be a short video, but okay, so look how fine this needle is. Can you see that? Look how fine it is. So this one works quite magically. You pop the needle in there. This thread, Wendyful thread, is extremely fine as well. So that's an 80 weight. Really, really thin. Put that in there. Stick that like that. Press that down it. Lift it up very carefully, and we have a thread. We have the needle threaded. So isn't that great? I couldn't live without this one. So we're all ready to stitch. Okay, so we've got needle threader, we've got good scissors, good little scissors. We've got some tweezers. My current Wendyful thread that I'm using for EPP. Jack, my favourite, Jack the Ripper. He's a seam ripper, all right. So needles, threading bits and pieces. Got little clips here in this container. Down here I've got my, put that back in. Down here I've got my lovely Liberty pincushion. I didn't make this one. I bought this in Liberty in Regent Street. And it's got loads of needles. It's got pins. It's got all sorts. Now underneath here, I've got slightly bigger scissors. They're okay for cutting a small amount of fabric, but they're more like snips really. Lots of glue. glue refills, tape measure, one on the floor, basting thread, more lovely Auriful. That one is another go-to thread for EPP. If I'm doing a darker fabric, darker fabric. These are slightly thicker. They're beautiful machining. So the glue basting, I'm a fan of glue basting at the moment. I did start off my EPPing with thread based, but I have found it's actually a lot quicker. You just have to be careful where you put the glue, and you would have seen from previous videos I'm quite careful with that. So that's my little box. Did I show you these? Oh, you did show you those. It's very sweet little buttons. Okay, so that's my kit. Goes with me everywhere. It's a kid's lunchbox, would you believe? It's fantastic. It's so fantastic. So that goes there. Tissues, because I always have a runny nose. Special tea bags. I don't usually have caffeine after midday, so decaf and ginger tea. Right, so show and tell. This time I will show my lovely Liberty pincushion that I made from a free pattern on Emma Jones Vintage Sewing, and it's there if you want. I can put a link down below. There's a video of me. I think it's a short. I think I did a short. Or did I? I can't remember. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I always take way too much. So I have some of these, look, EPP, I was going to say squares. They're almost, well, the hexy crosses, aren't they? Hexy crosses. I've got a load of these all ready to go. See, I must have done them a long time ago because they are thread basted. What I'm doing with these is, so I have the lovely time of stitching 4 together. Then I will take the papers out and I will put them onto these 4.5 by 6.5 backing fabric, because they're going to form a part of an extra border I'm doing for my Alice Caroline quilt. So I've also already decided to do 20 more blocks. So this quilt is going to be a slow finish, probably in a couple of years' time. So there's always these to do. And because I have decided to do extra blocks, I've picked a couple of I've actually picked 3 of one of my favourite blocks for EPP, perfect for my quilt, my quilty day. So that's the first one. I've already done that, as you can see. I love that one so much. I'm currently making a new one. Here is, I've got 3/4 of the way, well, nearly finished. Got 2 more to go there. And then that one will go in the middle. So there is that first one. Now this is not part of the actual quilt pattern, but I found it in another one, but I loved it so much. So there, that's where I'm going to put those little heart buttons on the top. So I'm making a repeat of that one with this fabric here. I think it's going to look fantastic. That's a little heart, the 2 little hearts. Now, I did this one in an interesting way because it is, so that's the pattern piece I've worked from. Now, because it was raw edge applique, what I've done is I have stitched on very fine interfacing, cut a hole in the middle, pulled it through, and that gives it like a puffy effect. I love it. You see here? And it's so super easy to stitch on. I'm getting caught up in thread here. See how puffy that looks? So that's for that piece. And then final piece I'm doing is another repeat from the quilt, which is this sort of, can't remember now. I'm sure I'll put it in a minute. So I've made that one, and this time around I'm going to use those. I mean, look at those fantastic colours. The idea of that colourway came from the middle of my pincushion. So that is going to keep me busy. What else I've been doing? So I hope you've enjoyed this little roundup. And oh yes, did I showed you the bag? Yeah, everything going in here. So this bag I found at Heathrow, and I just couldn't resist it. I was going to give it to my daughter. Sorry, Jane, you didn't get it. I needed it for my stitchery. So I hope you've enjoyed this little roundup and seen what goes into my stitchery bag for mobile stitching. So do leave me a comment on what when you take your stitchery things away with you, or do you? Do you hand stitch? Do you knit? Do you crochet? What do you put all your bits and pieces in? I'd love to see. I'd love to hear from you about what you have in your little takeaway kit. I would encourage you to put one together. Get a kid's lunchbox and put all your bits and pieces in and start using it, and you'll find that you can't do without it. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.